Hi everyone, welcome to the National Support Session. This session is all about equipping you for the assignment. So let's get straight into it. I believe that the previous session that we had kind of touched on the elements of, how to write an assignment, etc. So yeah, we move. Okay, the first thing that maybe I can start with is where to submit your assignment. So when you are on your entrepreneurship module on VC Learn, you will then scroll all the way down to the assessment submissions. The first thing that you have to do is the academic integrity honesty declaration. So it's basically a covenant or a contract or your declaration that you have not cheated at all. So please make sure that you have to do this for every module that you have. So all you would do is just click on the heading, and then it's a timed test that has a limit of 30 minutes, and then you will then press begin and proceed with the test. Because I am not a lecturer, I do not have to do this. So yeah, this is just a declaration. So you will just say, I declare. So that in the declaration, you say you've read and accept each of the statements below. Okay, I have read the assessment rules. This assessment is my own work. I have not copied any other student's work. I have not uploaded the assignment questions in any website or app offering assessment assistance. I have not downloaded my assessment responses from a website. I have not used any AI tool without reviewing, rewriting, and reworking this information. And this point is so important because as much as AI tools are there to assist us, we can't just take what they say, because that would be copying and pasting directly. Once you get work from an AI tool, you need to rework it, you need to review it, and you need to rewrite it in a way that sounds like you. So an AI generated answer, for instance, will sound generic. So this is where you would put your own words and make it work for you. And I have not shared this assignment with any other student. I have not presented the work of published sources as my own work. So you have not really cheated and presented work that is not your own as if it's your own. I have correctly cited all my sources. My referencing is technically correct, consistent and congruent, and I've acted in an academically honest way. Once you have submitted this, then you will have access to submit your assignment. Then the second thing that you have to do is you would have to find your assignment. But of course, with regards to finding the assignment, you've already found the assignment, you've clicked on it, you've searched for it. But in case somebody has not, I will go ahead and do that exercise. So in the search button, all you have to do is search for your module ENIN8421, and please do not forget the W. Without the W, it means that you would be going to the full-time entrepreneurship module, and there they do tests. So that would be for you, please. And you don't want to find that you have completed the incorrect test. So let me just do this maybe and do a screenshot of these, because and maybe I'll do a compilation of things to, like, I don't know, assignment hints, assignment must knows or must do's. Yeah, I'll find a better name. By the time I save it, I will have saved that for us. And maybe let me do this rather, and then open it again, and then this time highlight the fact that the W must be taken into account. So it's all about the W and not necessarily only the module code. And then while I'm at it, I'm going to also go back to the integrity declaration and just take a screenshot of that, and maybe take a screenshot of the test, the actual test that you have to write, the 30-minute timed test. And these are the questions that you would have to answer. And that is the honesty declaration. Okay. And these are the questions. So let me make the sticker. It's green. Much thicker. Yeah, much better. Just a bit skew, but I think the purpose or the point is being driven. Okay, so that's the second thing that we covered. So that's, yeah, I'll collate this document and we'll do something that is a little bit more official after that. So once you have done the declaration and you have found your assessment, right? And let's go back to finding the assignments. You would go into 2024, and here is your assignment one. All you have to do is you have to click on the 3 ellipses, and then you press on download. Again, that is, yeah, you just have to, then you download that. And yeah, that's all. Then the second or the third thing that you would have to do, or the fourth thing actually, and did I take a screenshot of this? Let me just check. Yes, okay, so we did take a screenshot of that. So we live, Jessica, we live. Okay, then you found your assessment and now is the submission link, okay? So with this submission link, here they are reminding you that you have to do the honesty declaration, all right? Without the honesty declaration, you will not be able to submit your assignment. So you will just simply click on the assignment one heading, and then here is your then opportunity for you to submit. And this is where the submission link is. I might as well do this now. Assignment. Find your assignment, and then honesty declaration. All right, and this is basically where you would start to submit. If you're trying to submit, you would create, let's see, create a submission, upload a file, and you would have then used your assignment template or any document that you want to use for that, and then you would upload it, click on the integrity plagiarism, and then click on submit. Yeah, and that's about it then. And then one thing that you do have to be cognizant of is the timing of the assignment, and that we can find in your calendar. And under your calendar, you will see there on the 25th of March, we have the assignment due date, and the time that it is due is 23:59. So please be mindful of that. It's on the 25th of March. So please make sure, and once we are here, while we are here, please make sure that number one, you submit timeously, because when you submit, you have to do a safe assign. You have to get a safe assign report. So with the safe assign report, it will tell you how much is your percentage similarity. And you are, what that means is that how similar is your work compared to other sources, to other published or submitted sources. So in other words, if let's say, for example, you submitted sources, excuse me for that. So if, for instance, you have an assignment, right, and this assignment maybe is on NetBank, you're gonna do the natural thing, which is to Google NetBank, right? And here's the NetBank website, and maybe it's about online banking. So you would go maybe to the NetBank online banking and see if there's any documents or articles that they've written about it. So for instance, they're talking about beware of the latest scams, and then maybe you find that this information is relevant. They're saying that there has been an increase in online fraud in the banking industry, with some of the latest scams involving fraudsters prompting you to click on a link in an email or an SMS. So you know that this is very important. So you would take the work, right? You would copy that. And then the natural thing for you to do is to then paste it in your assignment, right? But now the first problem with that is that if there's another student who is submitting, sorry, let me take this. So you say normal. If there is another student submitting the same text, you would have a 100% similarity. So then what is the solution? The solution is to paraphrase. So while you are paraphrasing, my key for this is you can use an AI app such as ChatGPT. And what's nice about ChatGPT, or let's leave it there. In fact, remember you saw in the declaration, the honesty declaration. So what you would do then is you would take this text, right? This is what, and let's say, example, your assignment is on internet banking, and you found this piece relevant. So then what you would do is you would go to your ChatGPT. I even have it here as a shortcut because I do use it a lot. I write emails with it. It really just makes things work for you. So then you will say to ChatGPT, please paraphrase for me. And then it will say, oh, perfect. Give me the text that you would like for me to paraphrase. And then you will insert there the wording that you get from ChatGPT. Now, if you will remember in the sources, and let's go back to the screenshot that I took, if you go back to the sources or the statements on the declaration, one of those statements is that I have not used any AI tool without reviewing, rewriting, and reworking. So we need to review, rewrite, and rework. So, like the declaration says, we need to review, rewrite, and rework, right? So what that means is that you will then take the text that ChatGPT gave to you. If I can find that page. Yes. So it says, so we've said there has been an increase in online, and this is what we found from NetBank, right? And let me then do that as well. This is comma, copy, and this is NetBank website. So then we went to the NetBank website. That was the first thing that we did. And then after that, we go to ChatGPT. That's the second thing. So number one, let's say NetBank website. Number two, hint ChatGPT or the solution, which is to paraphrase. And the hint would be for you to use ChatGPT as your paraphrasing tool. Then step number three would be that rewrite, rework, and review. So then we take the text that we got from ChatGPT. It says, online fraudsters, and please make sure when you paste it, you do not just paste, you need to right click, and then you're gonna keep the text only. Do not merge the formatting, nor do you want to keep the source formatting, because if you keep the source formatting, it is very clear that you've used ChatGPT. If your assignment looks like this, please make sure that please be warned. Sorry, what have I done? Oh no, I pressed the paragraph thing, and I don't know how to remove it. What did I press? Sorry. Yeah, the awkward thing about having live documents, how to remove the paragraph symbol in Word. What did we do? Removing paragraph symbols from Microsoft Word is easy. Just go to the Home tab, click on the icon paragraph. So let's see. Home, and then where's paragraph? Oh, here. Okay, perfect. Now we're done. Okay, so where was I? Before I got distracted. Okay, we took the text from ChatGPT, and we are now. Okay, so yeah, so I was saying that if you paste it, oh, so I've undone everything. Let me redo everything. Okay, clearly it's not gonna take it back. So the solution, like we said, it was paraphrase. What's going on here? Oh my word. Oh, Father. I'm just trying to see if I can get the work back. Nope, not happening. I could have sworn there was a 3. Oh, this was 3, I think. Yeah, so the solution is to paraphrase, and that's where no, man, what's happening? Number one, we got it from the NetBank website. Number two, we paraphrased and we go to ChatGPT. Number three, yes, is to review, rewrite, and to rework. So as I was saying, if you're on ChatGPT and you just copy the text, right, make sure that when you paste, you do not just go and copy and paste, because this is what it would look like. This is an example of a copy and paste, right? What you want to do, and this I'm going to highlight in red, because this is exactly what we're not supposed to do. As we said in the declaration, we need to make sure that we rework, review, rewrite, and rework. So what you will do then is you will take that text, and you see already it's starting to form funny lines, which we were not trying to create. And then you will say keep text only. Oof. No, it's already not looking. It's this line. Ish, guys. Let's see what's going on here. Let's try it again. Nope, not working. Try it again. Still not working because it's coming out with that text box. There we go, without the text box. So now let me go back and just go copy it. Yeah, I'm sure you guys are used to the fact that this is how I work. There's no structure. So this would be an example of a copy and paste, which is below. And then we just copy and paste. Sorry. And then delete to bring it closer. Now we're good. So now this is where our step 3 comes in. Paste with right click and paste with text only, like below, right? So that means that you will then, and this would be green because this is the way in which we are supposed to do it. So you would review, rewrite, and rework. Remember, all we did was copy and paste this. Now it says online fraud within the banking sector has seen a rise. Like, so for me, I wouldn't want to say has seen a rise, because this is where your personality comes in. Has like, I would say has been on an upward trajectory, because you want to make sure that it sounds academic, you know, you want to make it into your own, right? And then it says, with recent scams involving perpetrators urging recipients to click on links with emails and text messages. With recent scams that urge recipients, right? Recipients to click on emails and text messages with links. You see, so what I've done is I've taken the same sentence from AI, but I have reworked it. I have made it into my own. So if I read again, online fraud within the banking sector has been on an upward trajectory with recent scams. But trajectory, I don't know. I think it's more like route. Yeah, I guess it's okay as well, because they have been increasing, and with recent scams that urge recipients to click on emails and text messages with links, right? So what we've done is we have reviewed it, we have rewritten it, and we have reworked it. So please, AI is a good thing to use. You just need to make sure that you use it the right way. And yeah, so that's the deadline of the assignment. It is due on the 25th, and we are good. And I think that is all that we can cover here on your module. Then we can go straight into the assignment. And again, the assignment, please refer to the ICE activity recording one that we did, where we basically discussed how much effort one needs to put into their assignment in order for them to get good marks. Again, you are now at honors level, you are now at postgrad level. So answering an assignment at postgrad level requires extra effort. So you need to go beyond what is being asked of you, because if you do what is being asked for of you, you will probably get about 50% or 60%. If that's good enough for you, maybe then it's okay. But for some of us who like, you know, to overachieve, we want to go the extra mile and make sure that we really displaying our knowledge and understanding of the work, but also putting in a good effort also has the benefits of, you know, feeding into your life. Once you get good marks, you know, you stand out as a good student. Who knows what opportunities may come in your way. I know there was once a job that I was offered, and they wanted me to have matric in what? They wanted me to have maths in matric. Now my maths results back in matric were appalling. I had to redo stats in first year, you know, as part of like a bridging course. So it just goes to show that, you know, the past does come back to haunt you. So you want to make sure that, you know, you're putting in good work there. And this I'm just going to highlight and maybe make it a little bit big, because this is such a must for you at this level of your education. So let's go to the assignment. And maybe let me do a page break here. Insert page break. And let me zoom out a little bit. It's a bit zoomed in. And maybe let me go out again. Okay, maybe that's a bit much. Okay, maybe that's good. Oh gosh, sorry. Technical difficulties. Assignment 1, 25 March. Questions. So the first question in the assignment, obviously you're going to read the instructions, and maybe before I even go to questions, I'm going to say read the instructions. And then the second thing that you have to do after you read the instructions is that you need to go through the rubric, or what is it, the referencing rubric. And the reason why the referencing rubric is important is because if there's no references or a reference list, you are going to be flagged for plagiarism. Plagiarism. And that is what you do not want. So you want to make sure that you are basically in line with the requirements of academic integrity or intellectual integrity. So what they say here is that for minor technical references, so if let's say your references are incorrect, but only in a minor way, and what they describe as minor is that you've got 5 or more errors, okay? If you've got 5 or more errors, that still applies in the minor lane, and that maybe we can make orange. I don't have orange as a highlighter, but then the major technical referencing errors, and for minor, we would be deducting 5% from your marks. And if you have major errors, it means 10% from the overall, the student's work contains 5 or more. Yeah, this is wrong because it's supposed to be like more than the 5%, because yeah, there's clearly something wrong here. But either way, if you've got more than 5 or more errors, or let's say maybe 10, and they put it, there was a percentage of 60% and 80% somewhere. Is it here? Okay, but I can't see it. But if your work is 60%, if your errors are 60%, minor errors, yeah, if your errors are 60% incorrect, 60% or more incorrect, that is a major error because majority of your work is incorrect, and therefore you would get minus a 10% deduction from your work. So please make sure that you clue yourself up with the referencing rubric. After that, we're going to read the assignment instructions. Okay. So in the assignment instructions, they say that this assignment should be answered in an essay format. So you're going to write it as if it's like poetry. And I don't know. Yeah, so, and it should be about 2,500 to 3,000 words. If you want to know what to do with the words, for me, honestly, as a lecturer, and I know this is bad, it does not really matter to me how many words you use. I care more about the content. So I would say it would be quality. It would be quality over quantity. So it matters to me that you express yourself. It matters to me that you display your understanding and knowledge and application of the work rather than worrying about how many words you need to use in an assignment. And then yes, to indicate your word count. But again, for me, this is where I cheat the system as a lecturer, because I really am not trying to, I don't know, catch you as a student. I'm just trying to make sure that my students pass, and that's why I focus on the quality of your answers rather than on the quantity. So your assignment structure must be as follows. There must be a brief introduction, right? And then you're going to have question 1.1 all the way until 1.4, and every question counts for 20 marks. And then they also want a brief conclusion. So you're going to have an introduction that's saying, hey, this is my assignment on what. The assignment covers this and that and that, and this is the approach that we took. This is the people that we've spoken to. Anything that you feel like should be involved or included in your introduction. Then you're going to answer questions 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then after that, you're going to conclude. And the conclusion is basically a synthesis of your assignment. This is what we've covered. This is what we've done. This is what we wanted to do. And this is what we ended up doing. And that's it. And then you're going to have a referencing list. Again, this referencing list, very important, because if you don't have it, that's where you get flagged those marks. So they say up to 5 marks may be awarded for the introduction. So we already see that this, at least the introduction, is going to give us 5 marks. And who doesn't want 3 marks, hey? Just to say, oh, this is me and what are the work I'm going to do. And then, and conclusion. Oh, sorry, for the introduction and conclusion. My bad. Respectively. Oh, respectively means each, yeah. And up to 10 marks may be awarded for the general tone, okay, and structure and flow of the assignment. So that's like 20 marks that you're going to get for free, which makes sense because if these are out of 20 each and it's only 4 questions, they're out of 80 marks. So for 10 marks, you can get 5 marks, you can get marks on your introduction, another 5 marks on your conclusion. And again, yes, I call it free marks, but please, that if you're going to give me 1 sentence for an introduction, chances are you're only going to get 1 mark. So this needs to be in line with the mark allocation, the effort, the extra mile. All of those count towards getting to those 5 marks. And then the tone, you have to have a professional tone, your structure, and this is what I'm going to focus on in this this document that I'm busy compiling here. And then the flow of the assignment. Again, flow, it must make some sort of logical sense. Do not just fit in anything and everywhere. You know, you must have an order in the way in which you present your information. So they say, in order for, and please refer to the rubric mark provided. I don't know what color I can put for this because it's so important. Let me put it in red because, yeah, what else can I say? In order to compile this assignment successfully, you are required to read widely. And this is where we're doing that extra mile working. As an honor student, as a PG, as a postgrad student, you really need to show that there's a difference between you being, you know, a postgrad versus you being a third-year student. At third year, yes, it's advanced compared to first year. But now at postgrad, we are really being more advanced about our approach in our academics. You need to consult various national and international publications. References may not be older than 5 years unless they are seminal sources. A seminal source is a source that is written by the original author. So if, for instance, there's a theory and it's the human capital theory, then we know that it was Becker who wrote it in, I don't know, 1866 or whatever year that was. Yes, if it's somebody who came up with it, you will say, yes, Becker started to write it in 1866. But then you will go and reference other sources that are less than 5 years old and say, what have they talked about with regards to the human capital theory? What have they contributed and where does it stand as a theory in this day and age? And then a minimum of 8 credible academic sources must be used. And these include textbooks, academic journals or articles, and or subject magazines that will support your answer. Your prescribed textbook is not counting towards the minimum. So yes, as much as you have to use your prescribed textbook, I recommend that with every answer that you give, start first with the textbook, because some authors might agree or disagree with the information that is in the textbook. So if there's a specific question, for instance, and they want a specific, maybe there's like 5 steps to doing whatever, and then you find that in the book that you consulted, there's 7 steps or there's 2 steps. It would be good to compare, but not good to make it your basis, because now sometimes there'll be things that are incorrect, or maybe that other sources don't touch on, and the specific textbook that we use touches on. So please make your textbook a basis. And while I'm under here, let's say, make your textbook the primary source, primary academic source, and then plus you will then use other sources to build on your argument. All right. Yeah, like they said, textbooks, academic journals, blah, blah, blah. And that's 8 prescribed sources. Did I write that one down? Because that's also kind of important. Where is that? 8 credible academic sources. And then they're saying support your discussion with relevant theoretical and practical examples. I cannot state this enough. So, and this is where that extra mile comes from, because when you are writing, sorry, where are we? Copy. When you are writing your assignment, it is not enough to have your primary source as your example. What you want to do is build on that argument. And like I said, use other sources to build on that argument. And that's what they're basically saying here. Support your discussion. For instance, I made the example with NetBank. And maybe let's make an example with this assignment here. If we look at what the topic is about, they're talking about innovate and elevate the business idea, right? And here you have to come up with business ideas. So let's say, for instance, you will then search, you will go into your search and you will say, oh, what is the website, and say business ideas. And you know, and you will say, and look here, there's an article from the Business News Daily. It does sound like a credible source, and not necessarily because it is peer reviewed or anything, but it is a business news. And remember, saying here in the instructions that you must use make your textbook support discussion with relevant theoretical and practical examples. Where's that thing that I want? Use other sources to build on your argument. Yeah, it's the one in your assignment where they say textbooks, and maybe I should actually write that. Maybe I should actually add that. Right? Support your discussion with relevant theoretical and practical examples. A theoretical example would be one that comes from your textbook, but for a practical one, this is what I'm trying to show you here. You've got what do you call it? A website that is talking about the fact that there's 26 business ideas that you can start. 26 great businesses ideas for entrepreneurs, right? And in your argument, when they're asking you about business ideas, you can even say, hey, there's a website that's talking about these business ideas. I selected my business ideas from this article that I read online. And then I would also look at other websites. Look at this Entrepreneur, definitely a reputable website, and they're talking about 63 small business ideas to start in 2024. And look at, they're all saying start in 2024. And you can also make reference to the fact that if you went online and searched, and a lot of articles are talking about business ideas in 2024, and then come up with maybe the top 3 the ideas that they are saying, because there will be ideas that they have in common and others that they don't have in common. I mean, if these have 50 and these other ones have 56, you know, what is missing from the 50 versus the 56? So you're really trying to explain to us what is going on out there in the world that we need to understand. So like we said, support your discussion with theoretical and practical examples that relate to the case study. And the case study would be that business ideas. We've now linked it to the case study. In addition, consider the industry or context within which the business is analyzed and use examples from the industry. And I like that. Use examples from industry. So who else comes up with business ideas? Maybe you can go to incubators and start searching. And maybe let's try doing that. Incubators, business incubators, in South Africa, or let's say business ideas, right? Because we want startup incubators. What is an example of a business incubator? 8 types of incubators. Every entrepreneur should know, right? This is relevant because if you're a business and you're coming up with ideas, or if you're an entrepreneur and you're coming up with ideas, there are certain business incubators that you should know. And I mean, if you're being asked about business ideas, incubators are definitely one of the resources that you would use as a business. So this is another example of a good website or a resource that you can use to build your argument. You will be assessed according to the referencing rubric at the end of the assignment, and we've already shown you the referencing rubric, but it's also at the end of the assignment, and then together with the content rubric, right? So in other words, we are going to look at the rubrics, and then you need to visit EBSCOhost, which can be found on the library website to source relevant academic sources for this and let us do that right now. How you go to EBSCOhost, you will see that you would go to your VC intranet, right? Once you are on your VC intranet, we're going to look for the IIE library. And guys, please make this your primary source. Yes, I know I've made examples of business examples and websites. That is after you've done the academic source. So firstly, when you make an argument, and let me make this statement, assignment argument should be based on the following sources. That is your prescribed textbook. Number 2 would be academic sources, and these are the ones that we are going to find now on EBSCOhost. EBSCO is like EBSCOhost. And then thirdly, you will say industry articles, and that's the one I made an example with when I was searching on the websites. So now to go into EBSCOhost, we're going to look at eShelf and we will go to resources. Under resources, we're going to find EBSCOhost. EBSCOhost is basically a database with all articles, not necessarily all obviously, but a good amount of articles that you cannot get stuck. So once we are on the website, we can then start searching, and this would be a basic search, and we just want business ideas. That's our topic, isn't it? And here we go. Heisenberg effects in experiments on business ideas, researching business ideas. This sounds more interesting because we are talking about coming up with business ideas. So here's already a source that you can use, right? Finding business ideas. Here's another source. Turning good ideas into great business, right? You can talk about that. You're trying to come up with a business, and in order for you to turn it into a good idea, Trey says that blah 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 blah, right? So these are basically the sources that you will use. There's so many, I can't even go through all of them, but that's just an idea. So when you build your assignment, every answer always have the definition according to the prescribed textbook. Maybe I should write that this would be definition, right? And then this one would be extra support of the definition. So we will say how it is applied. And then industry articles would be for examples. I hope that this makes sense. This would be the definition. Definition applied. Right, and then examples. And that's about it for the instructions. Now for the last 15 minutes, I'm going to discuss the assignment without giving you guys the answers. So innovate and elevate the business idea. We already know that this assignment is talking about the business idea, right? The aim of assignment 1 is to simulate the entrepreneurial process. We already know that the entrepreneurial process is a keyword because we have done it in, I think, Learning Unit 1, Theme 1, of creating a startup business idea, fostering entrepreneurial thinking, opportunity recognition, and innovation. You are required to brainstorm, and this is your job, to brainstorm and choose a business idea that you are passionate about. So if it's a current business that you have, you can pretend you are back in the idea phase of your business. Otherwise, as an entrepreneur, you probably have 100 other ideas that you can pursue. So take any idea that you have and let's decipher it. This can either be something completely new as an idea or an idea that you have always wanted to explore further, right? Individuals are different and therefore you have free reign to decide on any industry of your choice. So this could be a business idea in any type of business. For example, if you are passionate about developing a business that you could provide sustainable solutions such as plastic solution, renewable energy. I particularly like the renewable energy one because we are living in those times where renewable energy is so important as an alternative source of electricity for us. Food waste, mental health, awareness, etc. You are welcome to pursue any idea. It is, however, important to note that the business does need to have a profit motive. So in other words, please don't tell us about a non-profit. We are here to make money, people. Remember this entrepreneurship. In the first learning unit, we talked about entrepreneurial ventures and how they are different from small businesses. And it is through, oh my gosh, I hope this thing has been recording. Oh my word, I just saw that my sound was not connected. Yo, I hope everything has been recording, otherwise I'm in such trouble. Again, so what we were saying about the business idea, yeah, it has to have a profit motive. So question 1, an important part of studying a business is to ensure that you have evaluated the idea and determined its potential. As part of deciding on your business idea, discuss the following in line with the entrepreneurial process. We already discovered that the entrepreneurial process is in Learning Unit 1, Theme 1. So identify and evaluate potential opportunity, right? In the section, you're required to choose a business name, discuss what the core business of your idea is, and then what type of value it will have for your consumer. So this is just 3 marks. Determining the potential resources required and the potential resources we will find in the textbook, and then also discuss the plan to start and manage the business. This is all part of that. And if we go there, for instance, and I'm just going to scroll all the way down to it. The entrepreneurial process, right? It's 4 steps. The first one, identify and evaluate the opportunity. And what I would do is I would have and let me put it this way, okay? Questions, insert, page break, questions, and here we have question. Let me say question 1.1, right? We know we've got question 1.1 to question 1.4, 1.2, question 1.3, question 1.4. And I'm going to highlight that, make it bold, and then I'm going to update heading, then I'm going to update heading 2, and then I'm going to make all of these heading 2. Then we look at our, no, what did we do here? Okay, yes. And then when we look at our navigation pane, so you just say new, view, and then navigation pane, you see that you can see them here. And what I can also do is assignment must do's will probably be heading 1. Again, we make it bold, but then we update to heading 1, and then this we can make it heading 2. So we talked about the honesty declaration. We said find your assignment. We talked about the assignment link. We said submitting your assignment, and then submission date. And then let's call this part using AI to assist you. And that is another heading. And then after that, we then went to assignment 1. Let's say instructions. I'm going to delete the date. Again, heading 2. Let's say make it heading 1. Yeah. And then after the assignment instructions, let's call this questions. So it will we'll make it a heading, and we'll call it questions. And then under questions, we'll have question 1.1, 1.2, etc. So when we're talking about question 1.1, we're talking about the entrepreneurial process. The first thing that you're going to do is you're going to list the 4 steps. Then you're going to explain in your own words. And as you do that, you're going to reference your textbook. All right. Then you're going to, and what did they ask you here? Right, they're talking about basically the 4 steps. So you're going to explain all of the 4 steps, and then you're going to bring examples for every step. So that would mean 4 examples. Or actually, before you say that, 4 additional sources. And maybe let me write additional sources first. And then lastly, it would be examples. And that would be an example. And so you have to really look at it and decide how much work you're going to put into it. But those are basically the steps that you have to take. So for instance, if you have to determine the potential resources that are required, for instance, and that's what a subsection of the question, right? Let's go to the potential resources. I would say that the resources that are required are capital, people, and assets. And this is according to Neven-Hazen and Niemand, right? You reference them. Then you explain it. Capital is da 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 da. And remember, that's where we said you use ChatGPT to help you to paraphrase. But after you paraphrase with ChatGPT, then you would have to rephrase their rephrased statement so that you're not just copying and pasting from AI, right? Then you would use it as an example. So in my example, for instance, capital is I will use it to buy land, I will use it to do what. You make an example of what you're going to use it for. And then you would go the extra mile and say, in terms of what we saw in the what types of business incubators, you know, I could go to a business incubator, for instance, called and I can pursue them for capital. So that's basically how you integrate all of those ideas into your one answer. And you would have to do that for every single answer. The more you put in, the more you will get marks for. Again, I'd like to repeat that honors level or postgrad is so poetic. Really, it's about writing as much as you can. And that's how you would get your maximum marks. And then question 1.2. Another aspect that cannot be overlooked when starting a new business is the challenges that you will face, right? There are a range of challenges that entrepreneurs face, specifically in the South African context. You are required to explore the type of challenges you may face in the pursuit of this venture. And you know what, guys, please always check for the answers in your examples, all right? Here we've got I'm looking for the answer basically in the module outcomes, what the learning outcomes. Because the truth of the matter is various types of education. Where is this thing of the challenges? I know it's at the bottom of one of the, this is the impact. Where it is. Let's see. Challenges. There we go. Shoo. Learning unit 1. Learning unit 1, theme 2. So what I meant about use your textbook is this, guys. In your examples, for instance, you can give us like examples. You'll say in your business, oh, you know, I've got a challenge with getting money, right? Fine, we get it. That's a practical example. How does that link with the theory? Because look at this. You would link it to theory by saying lack of startup and expansion in finance. That would that's how you link it to the theory. So make sure that you first cover it theoretically and then you provide an example, because then you will only get a mark for the example, but you won't get marked for the theory. And if you look at the challenges, they talk about lack of startup, they talk startup capital, they talk about access to markets, they talk about access to appropriate technology and human resources, as well as other barriers. So of all the challenges that you have, my biggest hint to you is discuss each and every one that is listed. Don't just say yours is just lack of capital, because that's one sentence, you get 1 mark for it, and that's it. But if you discuss all of them, guys, and I think that's where they always catch you guys, they'll say which problems relate to you. Don't do that. Relate all of them. Take all of them and discuss all of them, because this is the marks game. It's really not, yes, I like to say it's poetic, but poetic in the fact that you have to write as much as you can for maximum marks. So if we go here, we said it's the challenges, right? And here you can find the answers in learning unit 1, LU1, theme 2. So please make it theoretical and supplement with examples, plus, so these examples would be related to your business, plus, like we said, websites, etc., for additional information and relevant examples. And then question 1.3, and again 20 marks. Really, guys, yo, go the extra mile. You know, if you ask me, 20 marks will probably be like 2 pages, if you ask me. So if you don't have 2 pages for 20 marks, think carefully. Okay, and then creativity is an inevitable part of the dynamic business environment. In order to survive, your business needs to be extraordinary. However, there are certain blocks of creativity that cannot be ignored, as this may have a detrimental effect on your ability to be creative and create a lasting business. You are required to analyze the following physical environments in relation to your business and discuss how these environments may create barriers for your business. Now, they want you to discuss the social, the economic, and the physical environment. Honestly, I don't know where I saw this. If you guys did this in your textbook, if you haven't, this is really first year work, okay? So this is what they want from you. Right click and pay text only. This is what they want from you. But what you are going to do is you are going to research. And the first place that you can go to again is your EBSCO and let me write it there, EBSCO host. So when we go to the business and to EBSCO host, we will be looking for business environment. And let's say analysis search. So risk management strategies in the global business environment, analysis of complex dependencies and effectiveness of measures. So this is a good one because then you can come here and look for your ideas, except it's not in English. Ne? So maybe let's set our our filters to make it English. So we want full text definitely, and we also want references to be available because we don't want anything that does not have a reference. If it doesn't have a reference, what is the issue with it, or why is it there? And then where is it where it says, and yeah, look at this, 1995. Remember they said that you guys can only get articles that are 5 years or older. So it's now 2024, which means we want 2019 until 2024, right? And I don't see language. There we go. English. Because what's the use of finding articles that are not going to be in a language that you understand, right? Yeah. So, and yeah, so, okay, I'm seeing like a lot of complicated, when we talk about analysis, maybe we made it complicated. You can just simply search for the business environment, and that's where you can get ideas of what you can cover. So they talk about credit availability, and that's relevant to your example, because remember we talked about the fact that in your business idea that one of the challenges that you face is credit availability. So now if we are talking about the business environment, and maybe we're talking about the social economic environment, that maybe can be part of this economic environment, right? So make sure that the examples that you can get are related to that. Or what you can also do is you can literally then search for the various elements or factors of the business environment. Here's a literature review of that. So there's really ideas, lots of ideas that you can get. And this is interesting as well, because there's also videos that you can watch and get insights from. Yes, you can cite these because they are on a professional academic platform. It means that these were embedded in academic research and are therefore relevant for your studies. And then again, I would make sure that you list, you explain, explain, then you come up with examples according to your case or your business idea, and then you would supplement. Resources, and that's where your EBSCO host comes in. And then lastly, question 1.4. They say opportunities are seldom easy to recognize, and therefore it is imperative that once you identify a gap in the market, you seize the opportunity right away. You are required to apply the window of opportunity to your business idea. Discuss each stage in relation to your business. And here we go, each stage in relation to your business, explaining clearly what you, the entrepreneur, need to do to ensure that you pass through each stage successfully, right? So what you'll do is you'll go to the business idea. What is it? The window of opportunity. Window of opportunity. There we go. And we want the stages, right? The role, the process of the. No. We want the stages. It's part of the entrepreneurial. No, man. What are we talking about? Window of opportunity, chapter 4. Okay, I'm going to search for it. Window of opportunity. There we go. So we said the stages of the window of opportunity. Number 1 is seeing the window, locating the window, right? Closing the window. And then what's this last one? I don't know what got deleted here. But anyway, then you would discuss those. So again, for each and every one that you do, you list and discuss the stages, and then explain how they relate to your business idea. List and discuss, and please, when I say list and discuss, please don't forget to put your references. All right, explain how they relate to your business idea, and then you're going to come up with additional examples or supplementary information. And this would be in the form of additional sources. So again, you can check on EBSCOhost. What do they have to say about the window of opportunity? Or let's make it interesting. Or while we're here, let's make it window of opportunity. And another one that you can do is, again, go on your website and say window of opportunity. And as you search there, there's your definition. What are the 5 stages? What is the phase? Yeah, Investopedia. I wouldn't suggest Investopedia. Collins Dictionary, Wikipedia, definitely not. Merriam, nope. So you want to like market business news. You see, like this is definitely like a business website. So something that's credible. Cambridge Dictionary, but why would you go to a dictionary? You want something that's going to give you examples of what a window of opportunity is. You want an article that's going to tell you about windows of opportunity that are open right now. There's a huge window of opportunity in AI. There's a huge window of opportunity in renewable energy. So that's what we mean by relevance with regards to the idea and how you incorporate it in your assignment. And that's it. If you do this, you will then get your 80 marks. And then remember, there is an additional 20 marks that you get from your intro, from your conclusion, and then from the structure, format, and logic of your assignment, or they call it the flow. And then if there's one last thing that I would like to say for your assignment, please make sure that you insert every question. And I don't know how to write this, where to write this. Start every question on a new page, because it's going to just make your assignment look neater. So if you say questions here, and maybe this would be your cover page, and let's not call it questions, let's call it cover page, right? This would be your question cover page, and then question 1, you would click on question 1 where it starts, and then you will say insert page break, right? Question 2, insert page break. That means you're basically starting everyone on a new page. Remember, guys, there's no need for you to save paper or pages. We are online. You're not going to print anything. So please, if you end up being on 100 pages, so be it. So be it. Okay. And then don't forget to insert page numbers. And this would be if you're not using the last week I showed you guys how to use the assignment template. So if you're going to use the assignment template, please go ahead and do that. There's absolutely nothing wrong. I mean, look at that, we're already on page 10, right? But who are we hurting? And then let's just look at a book format of this. Is it not going to show us? Yeah, like already if you look at this, it looks so much neater. Look at this question 1. Imagine if you fold it in and then question 1.3, you see. So it looks much neater if you start everything on a new page break. So you will see by virtue of this, you know, the way I've typed everything out, it's looking logical, it's looking neat. And that's basically what we want for you. And what you can do, and look at this, this is not exactly neat because I didn't really start new pages. So if I say find and let me escape the reading view, we said assignment must do's, and that's how we started. I like to normally use the navigation pane, so that it can show me here on the side what's also happening. And then I will say find your assignment, insert page break. So guys, everything must just be on a new page. It just makes things so much easier. Submit your link on a new page break, submission what page break, and we'll now start seeing how different it looks after we've done this and how much neater everything looks. So now if we go back to the reading view again and we start all the way from the beginning, look now at what we have, right? Find your assignment, submission link. You see now everything is much neater. So please guys, make sure that you do have page breaks inserted just to make your work neater. And I've taken 10 extra minutes of this 1-hour session. I hope you have a good time doing your assignment. It's an enjoyable one because it's on your business idea. If you don't have a business idea, you better get one. There's that business idea generation stages that you can do in Learning Unit 2, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, enjoy. And thank you so much for joining this session. That's all. Bye.